match where we're going to start on Lilat.
And moving right into it.
I would think this favors Sheik a little bit.
It's about how well Dill can control the space using needles. And Needle Storm does have a slight bit more of advantage due to how the shape of the ship is oriented. Typically speaking, they're an excellent projectile for controlling space as it is. Now they're just slightly stronger. So what's Ralphie to do? He has to contest in the air. But contesting a Sheik of Dill's caliber in the air is much easier said than done as we look at this increasing percentage deficit.
Definitely, and of course, another factor is how hard Sheik can combo Fox. We saw a lot of early percent strings where normally you get those 50-50s for Sheik. A lot of them end up being true on Fox. And pretty significant deficit, and a Bouncing Fish is not quite going to close out the stock, but it's over 100% lead for Dill right now. So he whiffs the Bouncing Fish, but he does get the needles. And even more of a lead now, over 100% still, and a forward air almost going to take it. And Lilat. Guys.
All right, I like it, I like it, I like it.
This
Good
stage
looks.
is legal.
There are no
for
magnets
some reason.
in space.
Is that the excuse we're going to lose?
Keep it legal. Keep it legal. Get out of here.
That. Okay, hand. Okay, hand.
Okay,
Yes.
hand. Okay, that's some good stuff. Good stuff right there. If I do say so myself.
Star emoji, blue star emoji, other star emoji.
100, fire, fire.
And there's the argument for Lilat, I guess.
Fire.
So, you know, listen to whichever one you want.
I feel like we provided both sides of this debate with the proper amount of respect and information that we could provide you here at House of 3000. Returning back into the match, the percentage differential is sitting now in Ralphie's favor, but how well can he hold it?
All right.
Not well at all, it seems. One quick string, and all of a sudden, things are looking all tied up. But
and a good up smash on the air dodge read right there. I've recovered enough to maybe try to commentate the match on this ridiculous stage. And Ralphie's starting to bring this back a little, being a little more aggressive than we saw in the early going. Of course, Needle's just a lot better than lasers on this stage since they can reach a lot better. We see it right there, catching despite the stage tilt. Whereas Sheik also can just duck under lasers even if the stage is flat.
Yeah, within one of the last updates to this game, we saw that there was a significant nerf to the distance that Needle Storm is able to cover. However, a lot of that is mitigated by the fact that this is just a smaller stage. It's a lot more claustrophobic. Right. So you're giving us all of that power behind what Sheik presented in the earlier metagame for Smash for Wii U. And I would like to remind people that this character at a time was one of those contested characters for the top spot. Nowadays...
Yeah, it was considered the best or maybe second for a long time.
Yeah, people now put it between Diddy and Bayonetta, but Sheik sits at the top, not just in the past, but in the present now. Dill doing fine to take that game on.
You know, borderline top 5 character, depending on who you ask. Definitely top 10. I think probably in that 5 to 7 range.
I'd put it in that top 5. I feel like this character just controls so much space so well that you really can't turn a blind eye to how well she can negate space and just turn off the options of a good amount of the characters in the cast.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Sheik is, I think as people optimize the game more, Sheik just continues to move up. She's a very technical character, a lot more so than a lot of the top tiers. So certainly, you know, a more difficult character to get everything you can out of the character compared to a Cloud or a Bayonetta or a Diddy. And certainly like one of the harder characters in the game, but has the potential to be at that very top level.
Right.
If your Sheik is good enough and if you are precise enough, which Dill has shown he is the majority of the time, but even still, you know, you see missed combos from Sheiks more than you see from other characters at the top tier a lot.
Yeah, she's a very technically demanding character, but her pressure has been enough to force Ralphie to switch off his Fox and into Cloud as we move to Game 2 for Town and City. And things are looking very different right off the bat. No, never mind. It's just, you know, it's not really a Fox. It's just an anime character. You got a swordsman with almost full limit. And there it is.
And this is a matchup that a lot of Clouds think they lose. A lot of Sheiks, I think, at least some would agree. But at the same time, it's super scary for Sheik. What makes her so good in this matchup is her ability to combo and edge guard and take those potential early stocks, but at the same time, Sheik is a character that has a lot of trouble killing on stage in normal play.
And it's equally terrifying on the half of Sheik due to the fact that she's a fast faller. She's going to be eating these aerial combos very well if the DI isn't proper and if the percentages line up just right.
And she also just dies significantly earlier than Cloud. Sheik lighter than Cloud by quite a bit, and of course Cloud with ridiculous kill power compared to Sheik with, that's probably her biggest weakness is her kill power. As we see a late in air bouncing fish, not going to kill yet, not at the edge of the stage, but he does go off stage and force Ralphie to burn limit, but the rising dare, sour spot, or whatever spot that is,
there's just two
somehow going to take the spot.
There's two big old hit bubbles that are right along the blade, and you think that's the sour spot, but a sour spot's still able to kill very confidently as Ralphie takes charge of this game too.
So yeah, unfortunate situation for Dill right there. Gonna have to get the stock off relatively soon. Of course, Cloud's up here safe on shields, so not able to punish it there, even with a character like Sheik's frame data. Had the air dodge read there, misspaced the bouncing fish a little bit. And now we see why this matchup can be so hard as he finally gets the kill, but Ralphie lived to over 160% when he went off the screen there. Yeah,
and were Ralphie to tech that, there's very good likelihood he could have survived and maybe stretched it out a little bit more.
Yeah, and Rage Cloud with limit can kill Sheik so early. Really, really tough for Sheik in that situation in this matchup. Although, according to Tweak's matchup chart, this is actually the only matchup Cloud loses.
I wouldn't particularly agree with that, but we're certainly seeing why it could favor Sheik. That being said, Ralphie doing a fine job tonight right now. He's doing well to charge his limit consistently while still keeping enough pressure on Dill that he's not allowing Dill to keep full Needle Storm. He's not allowing Dill to deny him space. He's forcing him to respect a lot of his aerial options, and that's really what's keeping things so heavily in Ralphie's favor.
Yeah, and a lot of it goes back to something you said earlier about the Needle Storm nerfs. It's only 80% the range it used to be, and we saw that actually become a factor there a few times where Dill's needles came out just a little short of where Ralphie was charging limit. And that's one of the reasons she can do so well in this matchup sometimes. She can pressure him, keep him from just charging limit that whole time. But he was missing those pokes a little with the needles here and there, and ends up losing a pretty early stock to that back air on the ledge. And I think, again, he can't really just charge those needles if Ralphie's charging limit.
Yeah.
Ralphie just gets so much more out of it than Dill is going to get with a Sheik.
Now, you could argue that the needles also play a key factor to how well Sheik can edgeguard Cloud, but the way that Ralphie utilizes limit, it really isn't that good of a trade-off. With the way that we see Ralphie, yes, he has that kill option on deck. Yes, he has plenty of powerful moves at his disposal, both out of shield to contest space with projectiles, to pull off a multitude of things. But it's really the fact that he's able to move around more freely and uses already fantastic aerial normals to be able to contest that space. So he doesn't even have to bother with that kind of kill power at his disposal. He already has enough, and he's very comfortable utilizing it.
And yet, we're seeing him think about switching back to Fox here. I wonder if he's not, wouldn't want to play the Diddy Cloud matchup. Yeah, and that is what we're going to see right here. Ralphie spent a long time thinking about the counter pick, was even hovering over Ness, although
I would have loved to have seen that.
That would be cool. But he's not going to go back to the Ness. He is going to stick with Cloud. Was certainly thinking about Fox, though, and that tells me he's not maybe the most confident in this matchup.
Yeah, you know, his Fox is still rather young. It's going to take a bit more time to grind up to the point where he could just see, yeah, Fox, it's time for this. But his Cloud is certainly up to snuff to being able to withstand Dill's Diddy Kong, his signature character, all things concerned.
And of course, Dill, a very, very patient player a lot of the time, but that can work in Cloud's favor a lot of times, because even if you're willing to wait, bait out and punish things from Cloud, you still have to deal with him having full limit that entire time if you're going to play that style. We saw Ralphie reach full limit at, I think, 4%. So, yeah, he does have the percent lead right now, but he misspaces that F smash punish, and now, game's even.
Just like that, but no banana on board. We're seeing that Ralphie's having the good awareness to either avoid it entirely or to eliminate it before it becomes a factor. And I feel like that's such a pivotal role in fighting against Diddy Kong, regardless of how reliant the Diddy is on using banana to control space, because it's just such a fantastic tool.
And that was a good trap by Dill with the banana flying over the ledge, but Ralphie was able to jump through it and get around the forward air as well. He lands in power shields right there. Dangerous situation. Dill goes super high, monkey flips back across the stage to get out of danger. And a close first stock right here, both at kill percent. Of course, Diddy with the percent lead, but Cloud with a lot more kill power.
And Diddy Kong with a respectable amount of rage behind him. If Ralphie's not careful, he could get caught up in banana shenanigans.
Yep. Bananigans always an important part of these Diddy matchups. But he's not able to pull it right now. He's stuck on the ledge against Cloud. And he monkey flips into a forward air.
Unfortunate.
And up air to up air frame trap, because that does frame trap the majority of the cast. And 122%. On Town and City, probably at up smash kill percent. Although Diddy's up smash with no rage, not actually the strongest.
And especially given if...
and he's in a lot of trouble right now.
He's in a lot of trouble. Even if Dill managed to find Ralphie into these situations,
Still doesn't kill.
The fact that Ralphie has limits going to allow him to drift ever so slightly safer.
Yeah, the best air speed in the entire game when he does have limit. Even better than Yoshi, Puff. All the characters who that's what they do. It's the best part of their character. As we see an up air to break that combo. Up air comes out frame 6 or 7. I'm not sure which one, but it's very, very quick and also shifts his hurt box around quite a bit, so it enables him to get out of a lot of combos.
It's incredibly quick, it's incredibly safe, it's incredibly potent, and we've seen Ralphie utilize it so well throughout the set, just punishing Dill's movement. You see how often that he's trying to take things to the skies, and there's just a cloud in the way. He just can't really do much.
And he does let him back on stage there. He's landing with down air over and over again. Very, very difficult to punish it. It does auto-cancel out of a full hop, and as well as the double jump height that Ralphie's been using it from. Good back air out of shield right there, getting out of the trouble situation. And the banana peel slip into a forward air. Dill's using the banana to cover himself fairly well from a lot of these situations, but certainly playing a little scared as we see him roll around a few times right there.
It looks like Ralphie's just trying to outspace Dill right now, get those percentages up so that he could utilize one of these limit options.
And that's going to do it.
That will
Blade
do
Beam
it.
catches the regrab, and Ralphie's moving on to winner semis.
So we will be seeing Shulk. Oh wait, no, we will see him move on to fight to kill Sage.
In the very standard half of winner semis.
All right.